So I want you to know that I did try to avoid doing this daily cancellation. I tried my best to resist the low-hanging fruit. I mean, there's so many other worthy cancelees, so many others who are just as deserving of the honor. So why subject all of us to this? Why force the audience to listen to the thing that I'm about to force you to listen to? Must we do this? Must we spend our time on this? Well, yes, we must. I'm sorry, but we must. The rapper Ice Spice has a new song out titled Think You the Fart. And the fart is in parentheses, by the way. This is a parenthetical fart. It's important that I mention that so that you can fully appreciate all of the artistic subtleties of this song. And, well, that is the only artistic subtlety, to be clear, but still kind of impressive for a musical artist who I'm willing to bet $10,000 cannot spell the word subtleties in the first place. But in any case, this new Ice Spice song came out just a few days ago. It's already a hit. Music video has nearly 9 million views on YouTube. It's been streamed over 15 million times on Spotify, which is the real test of a song's popularity these days. Overall, Ice Spice, who emerged on the music scene just 2 years ago or so, has garnered hundreds of millions of streams, hundreds of millions more views on YouTube. She's achieved widespread popularity, especially on TikTok. She's been featured in songs with Taylor Swift. She's been on the Barbie movie soundtrack. So she is, by every quantifiable measure, a bona fide musical superstar. But is she any good? Well, you might assume from the title of her latest song that the answer to that question is no. You might want to dismiss her talents altogether without even giving her a chance. Based on what you know about rappers these days and about the music industry and about the sorts of musical artists who put words like and fart in the titles of their songs, let alone both words in one title, you might arrogantly and presumptuously disregard her from the outset. And I want you to know that if that's your attitude, then it is absolutely correct. Her music is indeed as hideous and mind-numbing as you imagine. This 45-second clip of her performing her latest track at the Spotify Best New Artist event should be enough to prove the point. Here it is.
What? You're not even the guy. I be going hard. I'm breaking their hearts. Like, what? Be quick, but I'm quicker. Be thick, but I'm thicker. She could be rich, but I'm richer. Damn. Taking her man. Don't give a out in the yams. And I'm keeping one tucked. I make me some jams. Unlock that I dance. What? I said 400 bands.
You know, we've talked before about the incredible prophetic accuracy of the movie Idiocracy, which came out in 2006. It imagines a dystopian future where average IQ scores have plummeted well below room temperature, and American culture has become so crass and stupid that, for example, the biggest hit reality show in this universe is called Ow My Balls, and it features a guy getting hit in the balls by various objects. The only thing that Idiocracy got wrong is that it predicted things would get that dumb in 500 years. But instead, it took less than 20. In fact, a song called Think You the Fart sounds like it's taken directly out of the Idiocracy screenplay. We have reached our futuristic idiot dystopia, and we didn't even need a time machine to get there. Now, it goes without saying that the lyrics of this new Ice Spice song are so juvenile and witless that simply listening to them causes brain damage. Popular music has gotten so dumb that exposure to it causes actual concussion symptoms. We all now probably have CTE just from watching that clip. And I don't mean to belabor the point, but just to make it clear, here are some of the lyrics to this song in case you couldn't understand what she was babbling about. I said 400 bands. I said 400 bands just to do my little dance. I'm a brand. I'm a baddie. I get what I want. All in Balenci. I look like a bum. I got the jaddy. Is that jaddy? Is that what misspelling? Jaddy? He just want to hump. Walk through and start shaking my hips. I'm a dip when I stack all my chips. Strip a dummy. I want the whole fit. I got a French N-word sending me tips. Think you the you not even the fart. I be going hard. I'm breaking they hearts. Be quick, but I'm quicker. Be thick, but I'm thicker. She should be rich, but I'm richer. Now, sure, based on these lyrics, you would assume that English is her second language, and she doesn't have a first language. Ice Spice has the intelligence and artistic sensibility of an earthworm. This song is the musical equivalent of an overflowing porta potty that's been baking in the sun for 3 weeks. The think you the you not even the fart it's the sort of metaphorical play on words that wouldn't even count as clever if this woman was in 3rd grade. Like, even an 8-year-old would hear that and think that it lacks sophistication. The whole thing is so vapid and stupid and meaningless that you can't listen to it for very long before plunging into despair. I mean, listening to this kind of music is like staring into the abyss. It's like some kind of great void where beauty and meaning and intelligence are consumed and obliterated. Grand Canyon University is a private Christian university in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. GCU believes that our Creator has endowed us with certain unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They believe in equal opportunities and that the American dream starts with purpose. GCU equips you to serve others in ways that promote your flourishing, which will create a ripple effect of transformation for generations to come. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree, Grand Canyon University's online, on-campus, and hybrid learning environments are designed to help you achieve your degree. GCU has over 330 academic programs as of September 2023. GCU will meet you where you are and provide a path to help you fulfill your unique academic, personal, and professional goals. Find your purpose today at Grand Canyon University, private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu. That's gcu.edu. In a just world, you would go to prison for making music this bad. I don't even mean because it's profane or whatever. The music itself is so bad, you should go to jail for it. There should be jail sentences for this. So in that sense, it's really no different from most pop music these days. And indeed, it's essentially on that basis that many people dismiss concerns about the absolutely god-awful, soul-crushing ugliness and idiocy of modern pop culture. They will insist that this kind of stuff really isn't that much worse than the pop music that was being churned out 20 or 30 years ago. And, people were complaining about that stuff back then and saying that it was the death of art and they were getting upset about it. And it turned out fine. Yeah, that's what people say. But the problem with that argument is twofold. Number one, it obviously didn't turn out fine. The people who were making those kinds of critiques of music and pop culture 30 years ago have obviously been absolutely vindicated. They were worried that American culture was headed over a cliff. They saw the signs. Everybody ignored them when they talked about this, and they were proven correct on every point. The so-called church ladies of the 80s and 90s that were so upset about pop culture back then, they have been, again, vindicated, perhaps more than any group in history has ever been vindicated. In fact, if you were to go back in time to 1987 and find a church lady complaining about pop culture at that time, and you were to play a clip of this Ice Spice song performing, the fart song, for the church lady, she would say, yes, see, exactly. That's exactly where I thought this was leading. Yes. Now, and if that church lady had gone out to the world and told them that in a little over 30 years, there would be semi-literate women who can barely speak English rapping about farts while they present their asses to the camera like dogs in heat, everybody at the time would accuse them of exaggerating. Like, they would call her crazy. They would have said, oh, come on. It's not going to get that bad. Don't be ridiculous. Yet here we are. And second, lyrically, this song, like many other songs produced today, it's only a few degrees dumber than the dumb songs of the past. I'll give you that. It's true. We long ago got to a point where it's hard for the content to get any dumber. Once you arrive at a juncture where hit recording artists are making songs where they simply ramble incoherently in a way that only vaguely resembles any sort of human language, you've gotten about as dumb as you can get. You can't get more nonsensical than nonsense. But the overall product can still get worse, and it is. Like, music 20 years ago was dumb, but at least it was exuberant. There was some life, some feeling to it. It was dumb, but it had character. It had feeling. Now, there are many examples from my childhood of dumb music, but that had character and feeling. That's basically all of the 90s. That's what if I had to summarize the 90s, I'd say, it was kind of dumb, but it had feeling. It was something. Maybe one of the best examples is the band Counting Crows. They put out several albums back in the 90s full of songs that were lyrically gibberish for the most part, but they captured somehow a certain feeling, a certain spirit. The classic Counting Crows hit is a song called Mr. Jones, which I still love as someone who grew up in the 90s. And there's a line in that song that says, "So come dance this silence down to the morning." Now, and the 90s, again, full of songs that have lines like that. I don't know what that means. I think it doesn't really mean anything. But it's kind of poetic, and again, it has feeling, it has character. A lot of music was like that back then. You didn't know what the artist was trying to say exactly, if he was trying to say anything, but you kind of knew how you were supposed to feel when you listened to it. It had soul, if not meaning. But this stuff now, I mean, it has none of the above. You can see it even in the performance that I just played. On top of the general crappiness of the song, it's also like lazy and lackadaisical and weirdly half-hearted. She's just sort of wandering around on stage, mumbling with no effort or inflection. Take out the musical track and ignore the substance of what she's saying, if you can call it substance. And based on the tone, it sounds like she's answering the phones at a Verizon call center. It sounds like she's like giving someone directions on how to get to Rite Aid or something. Like it sounds like this totally perfunctory thing. So it's crass and it's vulgar, but it's also just blah. How are we even supposed to feel when we listen to this stuff? You know, I made this point with some other dumb pop star recently, and Lil Nas X. It's like, what feeling even is there here? What did you feel? The 45 writers that wrote that song, what feeling did they have when they wrote it? Well, there's no feeling at all. Even the sexuality of these songs is empty and bland. The songs are explicitly sexual to a degree never seen before in popular music. And the women spend the whole time gyrating their butts to the camera like some kind of mating ritual. And yet there's no sex appeal to any of it. It's off-putting and boring and so gross that the songs almost have a stench to them. There's nothing alive here. You could replace Ice Spice with AI and you wouldn't lose any humanity because there is no humanity in it. There's a lot of flesh, but not flesh and blood. And that's the worst thing about it. You know, not that it's stupid and vulgar and crass and profane, although all of that is bad and all of that is true, but the worst thing is that it has no heart and no brain. It is zombie music for a zombie culture. In other words, I don't like it very much. And that is why Ice Spice is today canceled. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like access to my full show with no ads, you should go to dailywire.com and use promo code Walsh to get 2 months free on all annual plans. See you there.